All right, welcome to the second episode of Two Idahoan Potato Farmers.
Two Idahoan Potato Farmers!
Luckily, to spare you guys some of the atrocities of last time.
Yeah, our intro doesn't need to be as long.
But also we have our third Idahoan potato farmer, Geremy Lague.
Hi, guys.
How's it-
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you are very welcome in my spacious mansion that we're recording in.
And you are a founding member.
This place is beautiful, Stephen. Is this real marble?
I carved it myself.
I just put all this in.
This marble carpet. God, it's expensive.
You should see the toilet.
It's blue.
You want to say anything about yourself, Jeremy?
No.
You're right. We'll make fun of him enough. People will know.
That's very, very true.
I am.
Jeremy's the man of mystery of the group.
I am Stephen and Matthew's friend by choice.
Not many people get to say that.
No, how many
Most
people
people are.
want to say
No,
that?
There
exactly.
you go.
People are usually shackled to us by obligation, or our parents paid them to hang around us.
And I got none of that cheddar. So.
Well, since Jeremy is here for the first time, why don't we let him throw out one of his ideas first for the pitch?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
here comes the pitch.
All right. So I believe Matthew has heard this pitch before from school, but I don't know if Stephen has heard it. So this is for an animated film. Twisty, a nice cyclone who is too small to play with the others, must beat Bill Paxton to prove he is worth a damn. And if no one else realizes it, this is Twister from the perspective of the tornado.
I like it. He's actually just playing with the cows. And he sets them down nicely off camera.
He's the gentle giant.
He speaks in whispers.
I have two pitches. Are we going to go around?
Yeah.
twice? Okay.
Oh, do you want to do? Yeah.
Okay.
You can do another one right now.
All right. Here's my second pitch. So, this one, Superman goes back in time and calls on the Justice League to help him with a masturbation injury. The title is A Cock in a Hard Place.
Why is it Superman?
Because he has the ability to travel back in time.
There's
We've
no
seen
other.
it.
There's no other league that could help with that kind of injury.
I know, but wouldn't he be strong enough to not hurt
I'd
The
himself?
Temperance League. The Temperance League.
I'll break that down.
Temperance League. Oh, God.
Okay,
Oh,
all
I
right.
do like that one.
Steven.
Okay. My pitch for this episode is about prisoners who join a writing group to deal with living in prison. And it's called Pros and Cons.
It doesn't matter how many times I've heard it. I laugh every time.
I know, you can tell that like before I even finish saying it, you guys are already ready to go for that laugh. Pros and cons. Yeah, it's basically a professor gets arrested and put into prison, and he ends up teaching a writing course while in prison. And that's... I didn't have any other pitches.
Okay.
Okay.
I got two. They're not as well thought out as yours. They're one joke. Okay. The first one is about two massage parlors. And they're at war in a small town. And they need to broker a deal. Otherwise, both ones will be shut down. There'll be no customers for any of them. It's called Massage Parlay. Because all they want is a happy ending.
That idea should go no further.
No. Alright, well, you're going to hate the second one.
Yeah, that was just the first idea.
Alright, so the second one, it's a biopic. I really like biopics. I don't think there's been a proper one done yet. It's about Jane Goodall, the woman who researched and documented chips for years and years. It's called Ape Recorder.
That was better. That was...
I thought of that earlier today, and I lost
Did
it.
you have a tagline for that one? Or no?
I don't. I don't have one for that.
Man.
No. Ape.
Ape recorder. Oh god. I kind of want to do that. I don't know how.
No. I think I just did the whole story right there.
Yeah.
And to follow suit, we're talking Arnold Schwarzenegger would play every chimp.
As the Maharaja.
Yeah.
Well, that's already written.
Yeah, as
Like,
I
that's-
said. I mean, it's done.
Yeah,
It's
you
done.
just have to
put a
take a-
stamp on
You
that.
just have to take a textbook and write Arnold where you see the word gorilla.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So which one
We
are
can
we
actually,
going
we
for
can
here?
vote this time. So if everyone wants to go around the table, vote for which one we want. I'm voting pros and cons. I love Ape Recorder, but pros and cons actually has a chance at being a story.
I too will finish, I think, pros and cons.
Okay, well...
Stephen clearly put all of his effort into one idea, whereas Matthew and I had two ideas that were subpar.
I was
What?
just standing by the washing machine when I said ape, and I said Ape Recorder. I didn't put any thought into this at all.
Oh, God.
I really panicked.
Can I
thought
also
we
say-
had to have two pitches, and that's why the Superman one came in.
Can I also say, I wasn't doing laundry. I was just standing by the washing machine.
And of course you're thinking about chimpanzees.
Yeah, well, laundry, chimps, they just Ape Recorder. Ape Recorder.
Works. Okay,
All right.
pros and cons. Well, my vote was Ape Recorder. I guess
Secretly, my vote was as well.
Okay. Well, then I guess pros and cons, which leads us to casting.
All right, so you want this to be...
Okay, so we have, what characters do we have? We have the prisoners themselves, and then, things that go along with prison. You need a warden,
Yeah.
and the guy who's the professor who gets
What
arrested.
what would his name be? What would the warden's name be, Stephen?
Oh, right. I thought about this before. Warden Peace.
Okay. To start us off with Warden Peace, I have a few ideas. So the first, I have four ideas.
But who's playing him? We want to get a cast.
That's what I'm.
Okay.
That's,
Oh,
okay, I
you
have four
go.
ideas. Okay. One, Gary Oldman, because he's hot right now.
So hot, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Eugene Levy, waiting for his big dramatic break. Harrison Ford, but he has to have the broken leg, which he currently has
Yeah.
in Star Wars.
So we're filming this next week.
Yeah. Or
He leaves Star Wars to do pros and cons.
or the guy who played Biff Tannen.
Oh,
What is that guy's name? I should know this.
I know. You have Back to the Future stuff around here.
It's
Come
actually
on.
right by.
Oh, it's
I,
literally... what's...
I want to see if I can find it on the back of the cover. Before
I like
we find
those.
I like to think his name is Mad Dog in real life. So the third movie, they're like, we're gonna work
Mad
that
Dog Tannen. Yeah, I like those for the warden. I would probably go for
Biff
Biff Tannen.
So let's
Thomas Wilson, right?
Thomas-
Thomas
I'm
Wilson.
going to
well.
call him Biff.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's
it's
that.
Warden Peace, first name Biff.
Yeah,
Biff
Warden
Peace.
Biff Peace.
yeah, Biff Peace.
Okay, can there be another character named Biff Cake?
Maybe he should want to be
He's
one
a
of
total-
the prisoners.
He's a total
No.
Biff Cake.
Biff Cake could be his twin, who's in the jail.
So they have different last names, but they're twins.
the same mom,
No,
the
it's
different
like-
fathers.
They're
No, it's
Asian.
like they're Asian.
So Biff is the last.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
their last name. Okay,
Yeah, that
so
works.
Asian Warden, Biff Peace.
So Yellowface.
yeah,
Two Yellowface
He's pretty
characters,
yellow already, to be
played by
honest.
the same guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
nice.
All right. Let's see. Okay, but we need a main character.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said a professor, right?
Yeah, he's like a professor. Like the Kevin Kline kind of.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, or like I forget what the movie was, but like Adrian Brody played a professor, and it was like I forget what the movie was called.
Oh, man.
Luke Wilson was a professor in tenure.
Oh god.
What? Okay, all right. I'm going to throw this out there. You guys don't like it, send it back. David Duchovny.
Ooh. Actually, I really
And
like that.
As a backup, Tobey Maguire.
So
no,
we're
Tobey
gonna- we're gonna-
Maguire should be one of the prisoners.
Okay.
We're gonna understudy our characters in this movie. So if he can't show up to set one day, all right, Toby,
Yeah,
you're in for
you're
the
in for
scene.
today.
No one will notice.
What was that Heath Ledger movie? That
Yeah, the
Imagine-
Imaginarium.
Imagine-
Of Dr. Parnassus.
Yeah, that one.
So we have to kill David Duchovny just so other people will
we need
fill
to
in the role.
convince him to kill himself.
Of course.
It is getting dark.
It has
over
been
here.
6 years and I still feel bad about it.
Okay, so David Duchovny.
David
I'm
Duchovny.
totally down with David
Yeah,
Duchovny.
okay,
That was a
okay.
great,
David Duchovny.
great
And-
casting choice.
I also think that there should be, like, sort of in the class, the one student who's kind of against the professor.
Oh,
but
of course.
as
He should
time
be a
goes
real.
on-
He should be the top hard ass in
Right.
prison.
Well, then
like
we get the guy from the Breakfast Club to come back.
Judd Nelson.
Judd Nelson.
I was gonna say the ghost of Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh,
He's not.
He's
What is
dead.
with you guys today? All right, one.
Too soon.
I can't see him being a super, hard ass
Yeah,
person.
yeah,
he's
yeah.
a little portly.
But he's a ghost.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we'll
okay,
see.
Okay.
So
No, who's going to direct this movie? We'll come up with some more casting
Okay,
once we
okay.
get more of a story of who's in here.
Okay.
But who's directing this? Pros and cons.
it's not gritty enough to be, like Scorsese or anything like that.
No.
This is basically a male rom com at this point.
Yeah, we're looking at
This is like
who did something about Mary.
Fairly Brothers.
Yeah, fairly.
So this is a straight up comedy.
Is this a comedy?
I think
No,
this
it's
was like
a drama.
I think it's
Okay.
inspirational drama.
Oh,
right?
inspirational drama.
It's like half
Ah.
Nelson with Ryan Gosling. He's got troubles.
So
But-
whoever directed Half Nelson is going to direct this movie.
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
No, we're gonna. Oh no, we'll get Robert Zemeckis in on this. He's really good.
there
at
we
this.
go.
Yeah.
Because I was
He's
thinking,
worked
who
with
directed
Gift
Flight?
before.
Yeah,
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Robert
good.
and that's perfect. At the
Yeah.
very end, he's
Back to the Future. Two
There we go.
tie-ins. We
Yeah.
got Biff Tannen and we got the.
I like
so
it.
we can get Viv Tannen. He
Oh,
knows
easily,
so, right?
Yeah,
Well, no, I figured it'd be pretty tough before, but now that we got Zemeckis on board,
yeah.
he
That's
can
the
rope
only-
Thomas Wilson into this.
Yeah.
This is we're hitting it out of the park. So
All right. So what do we got so far? We've got Pros and Cons, directed by Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Thomas Wilson,
Thomas Wilson,
David Duchovny,
David Duchovny, and
not Ghost of
not Ghost. Okay, cool.
Okay. What about Ice-T?
Oh,
Oh, a strong African American character.
I'm not typecasting this at all.
okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
He's going to be wearing a
Okay.
do-rag, right? Okay, just making that
No,
clear.
Denzel Washington would probably be a better. Also easily attainable.
Oh, ooh.
I like it.
Because that's where all of our budget could go. Because obviously we're not paying anybody else. Thomas Wilson, David Duchovny, they're not
There
going to
we
be
go.
making much money.
They're paying us.
Yeah.
Plus, he worked with Zemeckis on Flight, right?
Yep.
That's what we're saying, yeah.
yeah.
That's how you can rope them
So-
in.
it'll work
beautiful.
perfectly.
Beautiful.
Okay, so David Duchovny, we're just going to use actors' names.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
character names, right? It's just
right.
better.
Yeah.
Paints a picture.
Yeah. So
Plus, people know who we're talking about.
where are we starting? Oh, I remember. Oh, what I was thinking about with this one. It was, I wanted to have an ironic reason why David Duchovny goes to jail.
Yeah.
He goes to jail for misunderstanding something to do with the English language, like on a sign or something. Like, he reads something wrong, and so he breaks the law unknowingly and has to go to jail.
All right. So
Like
David
An
Duchovny,
English professor
Okay,
reads
yeah.
something wrong.
David Duchovny's Canadian. He's taking a trip in America. He sees a sign when one of the words is missing the U, and he doesn't recognize the word anymore. It's like color, but it doesn't have a U in it, so he's like, well,
Yeah,
like,
he's in
the
South.
color red means stop, but the color doesn't have a U in it, so he's like, oh, whatever, that doesn't mean anything, and he just
Oh man, that's bad enough. I like it. Okay, maybe we'll come up with something better, but we'll stick with that.
Placeholder.
Right now. Placeholder. Okay, where do we start the movie? What do we see first? What's
Okay.
our opening shot here?
I have an idea for this. So, it starts slow motion gavel coming down, and then as it hits quickly in fast motion, we see David Duchovny as the judge.
Shawshank style.
Yeah,
Okay.
gives him the sentence, and then for the opener, it's all slow motion, but all it is him going into prison.
Riding the bus.
No,
on the way
no, no,
home.
no. I thought of that.
Okay.
Strip search. Really
God.
get in there.
Full frontal.
Yeah, Just the whole thing.
Camera goes underneath, it goes above,
all
it goes
slow-mo.
in.
But for when the title actually comes across the screen, can the gavel actually be like the part of the typewriter that hits the letters onto the thing? Onto the paper?
So this movie is 2 stars.
Gross.
That's it. This is going to be the first movie to have 2 separate startings, and it's going to go one after the other.
Yes, it's going to be so abrupt.
Also, James Remar is playing the judge.
Yeah.
You know, like, illegal! Right?
Oh, Pineapple Express?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays such a good judge. So, right there. That's it.
So now we're in prison.
He's going to hit the gavel and say illegal. It's like, I know that. I'm in court right now. Like, I obviously did something illegal.
Yes, okay. So the gavel hits again.
And now it's pros and cons.
Yeah, and then bars. I don't. Yeah, so now he's in jail.
Okay, he's in jail, and obviously in the cell next to him
Is Ice-T, right?
No, he should have his own cell to start because they want to keep him isolated because
Yeah.
he's Canadian.
I meant in the cell next to him, not
Oh,
in the cell.
yeah. But then there's also Biff's brother. Are we
Biff
doing
Cake?
Biff Cake.
We can cut Biff Cake out.
Okay, we're losing Biff Cake.
Yeah, we're getting rid of Biff Cake.
Like, let's never talk about this again.
Yeah, Biff Cake's out of the picture. I think what it should be is, okay, so now he's in jail. He can't get a lawyer because he's so dumb. The lawyers are like, wow, you really screwed up this time.
Because
you
he
are
speaks
in
Canadian.
jail. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
even understand
The
what he's saying.
accent is-
Well,
too
who would
thick.
want to represent a Canadian anyways, right? Come on. And that's career poison
Yeah.
in America.
So he's basically in there for 10, 20 years.
Life.
Yeah.
Life.
He's in there for a long time, and he wants to cope with this, right? So at first it's rough, right?
Mhm.
So he's getting
He's
entangles at the food thing. Entangles.
His food is knocked out of his hand. His
Yeah,
eye,
yeah.
all
Yeah.
that.
Smooth move, X-lax, knockdown.
Yeah, and we could also have a character who references X-Files somehow. I don't know. I don't know where to put that in. Maybe name one of the guys Scully or something. Or he refers to one of the guys Scully, and they're not named Scully, but he just can't get out of that.
So the red-headed inmate, Scully?
Scully?
They're like, what? I was like, oh, sorry, I thought you were someone else. Never referenced it.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Perfect.
it. We
Perfect.
just needed that.
I also think that
Actually played by Gillian Anderson, the red-haired,
Oh, yeah.
but dressed as a man.
Yeah. I also think we need a hard-ass guard,
Okay.
and I think it should be Jason Statham, but he should never be allowed to speak.
Well, like most Jason Statham
But he gets a few words in there.
Yeah,
but-
every once in a while.
Well, Jason Statham or Laura Dern.
Ooh.
And she should have a little
Very good.
side story
Mm-hmm.
where she was the first woman to be allowed to work at a men's prison
well,
because
it's
she was such a hard
There we
ass.
go.
Because this is actually after the events of Jurassic Park. She got out of archaeology.
There we go.
That's
Yes.
like someone leaving Nam at that point, leaving that island,
Jeez.
right?
Oh my god.
Okay, and what would be awesome is if she couldn't read.
So it's okay. That's good
There
too.
we go.
But so
There we go.
her name, so it's guard Ellie Sadler.
Yes.
It's what we've agreed
Yes.
upon here.
Yes.
Okay,
So this is Jurassic Park 4 is what we're talking about.
okay, so he decides that he's not gonna just lay down and take it. Well, he does a few times in the
after
beginning of the movie.
After 2 years.
After 2 years.
Yeah.
Then it'll
Yeah,
be like
we-
Shawshank, where
We've got
everything's
time.
drawn
We've got
out.
time.
He's in his cell. He takes his shoelaces, hangs it, snaps,
Mhm.
gets a new lease on life, right? Like, it wasn't meant to happen.
Did the
Right.
shoelaces fall in the shape of the letters T?
I was trying to figure. I thought. No, okay, so here's what he does. He gets books from the library. He stacks them up and stands on them to
There
get
we
the
go.
leverage.
There we go.
But then, so when he kicks the books away, it snaps. He falls, and it's a book. He sees it in front of him. It
And
inspires
the
him.
book is
How to teach
How
a
to
class
Teach
on
a
writing.
Class.
This is it. This is my calling.
How to teach an English class in prison?
Yeah, so it's even more
Okay.
specific.
And then he's
Yeah.
like-
to both inmates and guards.
yeah, I like it.
Okay.
End of Act 1.
Yeah, that's basically
That's actually
it.
perfect.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Act 1,
So Act 2.
No, we don't do a little recap. Act
Okay,
1.
yeah, let's.
Act 1. English professor.
2 startings.
2 startings. Plus bars coming
Yeah.
down. Gets arrested for an English-related crime. Miscommunication. Gets sent to prison.
For life.
For life.
Yeah.
After 2 years, he's given up, hangs himself, shoelaces snap, finds a book about how to teach an English class in prison to both guards and
What a
inmates.
coincidence, right?
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Yeah, and then he turns his whole perspective around, and he's like, I'm going to teach these prisoners, and possibly some of the guards. At least sadly.
If I get to that chapter in the book, to learn how to teach them.
Yeah, it only explains it. But maybe he can write the book. That will teach him how to teach.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Okay, so now he goes to the Warden
Yeah.
Peace.
This is the first time that character's been introduced in 2 years. I was on vacation. It's good to be back.
He was on a mat leave or something.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he should be there earlier in the movie. But for right now, let's just say they already have established.
Warden Peace.
Hey, yo, Warden! I have an idea.
Is it Ice-T playing?
He's Canadian. That's how
I didn't know
Canadian
John
stuff.
Travolta was in this prison.
Hey, yo, Warden! I want to teach a class here. Something like
Man,
that. How does this become?
Prison is really hard on Jim. He's got such an ethnic speech pattern now.
Well, yeah. Okay, so he goes to him, he's like, Warden, there's some alien activity. I mean, I want to teach these prisoners how to read. And it's like, you know this is a white-collar prison, right? And most of them have degrees. But that doesn't matter. So he...
Wait, he didn't go to a maximum security prison for this crime?
I thought this was Supermax.
Yeah,
like,
me
I thought this was one level down from, like, the worst person ever.
Like,
He went to
they-
a Mexican prison.
Okay, here we go. At first I was going to say they reopened Alcatraz just for this.
No, his crime was so bad of a misunderstanding. They sent him to a Mexican prison.
Run by all white people.
Well, yeah, it's a private prison.
Okay.
Yeah, like
All right.
most prisons. But
Yeah. Alright, so he's in Mexico.
he's in Mexico. He only wanted to go to North Dakota, but this is like he went all the way south.
Anyway,
Okay.
so
Yeah, so he's got his class now. The warden gave in pretty easily. He was relaxed after his 2-year vacation. He's like, yeah, sure, why not?
If you need something, go talk to him now. He's drugged up or dying or whatever.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So they set him up in the library, I guess, in the
yeah,
prison. The
my
Mexican library.
In my head, it was a chapel, but the library makes more sense now. After,
Well, I guess it's a Mexican prison. They can't read any of the books in the library anyway. They're all in Spanish. Oh, what do you think I meant
Like
by
you were
that?
being super racist.
No, it's all in Spanish. You can't read those books. It doesn't matter.
So, is he going to have to write all the books?
Yeah,
so
he
is.
He
has to
spends his
write-
life rewriting these books so
Yeah.
he can teach them to...
does he know
All the-
Spanish? Or
No, he's
Okay.
making it up as he goes
So
along.
there's no Mexican inmates in this prison, right?
No,
These
it's
are
all white people.
It's all white
Okay.
people sent from the States for crimes that were miscommunication.
But none of them are American, though. They're all people from other places.
that came to
It's
America.
Oh, I
basically
see.
Guantanamo Bay,
Okay.
but in Mexico.
Yeah.
The second Guantanamo Bay. It's Guantanamo Bay 2, or whatever.
The sequel.
Just got literary.
one with less funding. They have all
Okay.
these Spanish books.
So we're in the library, and he just takes people who want to come.
Well, I feel it's got to be a struggle at the beginning,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
To get people.
No one shows
Yeah.
up at first.
So, yeah, he has to go out. And that's where we'd meet these, ragtag group
Mhm.
of the class, right? He'd go out and have to introduce himself and
Or-
earn the respect of all these people to join his class.
Or should the warden make people take the class?
It could be a
that
punishment,
could be
too.
it,
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think to get Ice-T in the class, he has to earn Ice-T's respect.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Ice-T been
Like,
in there
stands
a
up to
while.
him or something, right?
Yeah.
He runs the prison.
in the yard kind of thing.
Yeah.
Some sort
Like
of.
he has to like prove himself, and he has to go like shank somebody else to
Yeah.
prove His true loyalty to Ice-T, just so he can teach him how to read.
I'm already in here for life, right? May as well kill a few people. It's a freebie now.
Yeah, exactly.
Or does he teach the inmates that you can hide things in books?
Oh,
And he's got tons of books. So.
how do I reach these prisoners?
Oh.
And so first,
But the only way he teaches them how to do it is through written instructions, so he won't tell them.
There
so
we
they have
go.
to learn how to read in order to be able to hide things in books
I was thinking
and
more.
stab people.
He teaches them what happens to all of them at one point is he picks a book specifically for each of the people that he knows they'll like, and what happens is they open the book up and they start to carve it out to put their document in there, but then they start reading it. After they've learned, and they're like, oh, and then they're like,
Yeah, so
one by
this is-
one, they all get inspired.
Yeah, this is where the movie starts
Okay,
picking up, right?
okay.
And then it's like, oh, there's words in these things.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Because now
information.
he's one of them because he's helping them hide stuff in their books
Yeah,
and simultaneously inspiring them
exactly,
to
right?
read.
So he's earned the street cred,
Yeah.
but the prison cred, and he's shown them about education and knowledge.
While
Yes.
simultaneously at night, Laura Dern walks by, and there's got to be like a scene where she bawls and just says like, "I never learned to read."
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so he takes her in, and then all the prisoners are like, why you bring a guard in here? You
Yeah.
know? I don't know why they sound like that. Everybody in prison sounds like, yo.
white collar people, but we talk like this.
They're not from America at all. I don't know, but I'm liking where this is going.
Okay.
Yeah, so she joins the class.
Yeah. I also had an idea for the rest of sort of the core class, and that was just for casting. We get all of the guys who died in Saving Private Ryan and Sam Rockwell to be all the other inmates in the class.
Like spoken, or just get the extras out of the people who
The
died?
extras where you're like, was that Sam Rockwell just sitting in the
Just
back of the class?
Was that the ghost of Philip Seymour Hoffman back there?
Yeah, all those guys.
Okay.
You know.
So Vin
So,
Diesel's there.
Yeah, Vin Diesel's there.
Definitely.
Barry Pepper's in there.
Okay.
That guy who played the medic, whose name I can't remember,
Oh,
he's in there.
yeah.
Giovanni Ribisi.
Yes, of course. And
Tom Hanks.
yeah, I was going to say
Yeah,
Tom
Tom
Hanks is there.
Sizemore's there too.
Tom Hanks doesn't get a line, though, I think.
Oh no,
No, we don't use him. We're
paying-
so bold.
We are paying for 1 hour of Tom Hanks.
Well,
so-
no, we give him $20 million, and he thinks he's going to be the star. He gets on set, get in the back, Tom Hanks.
No, but he
no lines.
He plays Captain Phillips in it. Because the white collar thing, they just arrested him as a pirate. I didn't watch Captain Phillips,
No,
so I don't know.
That's how it ended, Steven. So.
Oh,
he gets sent to prison, a white collar prison in Mexico.
Guantanamo
So this is
Bay
now
2.
Jurassic Park 4, Captain Phillips 2,
Pros and cons.
Frozen Cons.
Pros and cons.
Okay.
All right.
Got it. Yeah, Adam Goldberg too.
Yep.
Paul Giamatti.
Oh.
Paul Giamatti.
Wow, I forgot
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti was in
Yeah.
that. It's been a while.
He doesn't die though.
No.
No, I think my favorite though is Dennis Farina because Stealing Harvard.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. He needs lines. He needs at
Yeah,
least
yeah.
a whole scene. Like
And
explaining
Tom- and
that
Tom
he
Hanks,
used
yeah.
to be a writer before he got sent into prison.
He should read Romeo and Juliet to the class at some
Okay.
point.
How many of these guys are going to be Nazis, though? All right.
At least
We're in
75%.
prison.
A good half. I was.
We're
Gonna
talking
say.
about the guards too, right?
David Duchovny.
Oh, David Duchovny.
You gotta join a gang, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't.
So I think Tom, even though he doesn't have lines, Tom Hanks should be the king of the Nazis.
Yeah.
He's just sitting in the back. He has not even just like a little swastika on his neck. His whole face is a tattooed swastika. So you don't even know it's Tom Hanks. We stick it to him one more
And,
time.
and he can't talk because he got shanked in the throat at some point.
Oh, it looks
So-
bad. He has this huge scar.
So maybe
across
it's
his
just
neck.
like a.
What would be
All
funny?
he does is he communicates. When he's just like,
Okay, and then we definitely
all his minions just do
definitely
his bit.
need a scene. You need a scene where it's like earlier in the movie when he has to choose which gang he's going to be in, David Duchovny, and it's like, oh, I have to be a Nazi? He's like, yeah, let's either be a Nazi or in the AV club. And there's just a bunch of nerds over. So everybody chooses to be a Nazi.
Smash cut to the scene where he's in the tattoo chair getting a swastika across his chest.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah,
wants
that's
to be
perfect.
those
That is
kids.
perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
that's solid.
Okay, so now they're all inspired.
Yeah.
Okay, but they open the book. We're going to cut this idea out right away. I think when they finally earns the respect, that's when they stop shanking him daily.
The initiation, you have to survive.
So every day he's getting shanked by everyone in the class, and then when they finally like him enough, they're like,
"Oh, I guess
no, you're okay with me." And it's one by one.
You're A-okay as they spell it out in the sky. A-okay. It's like
so at the very end. As he's leaving the prison, they strip search him again. We'll see his body, and there's just millions of shank marks around his entire
Covered with
body.
swastikas.
Yeah.
swastikas and shank marks.
Yeah.
David Duchovny.
So, okay, I know we're going to do this later, but pros and cons, tagline, swastikas and shank marks.
What?
They'll figure it out once they get to the end of the movie.
Okay, but we're
okay.
we're missing something.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even got to the third act.
Yeah.
No, but we're missing a subplot that needs to be there, where there's that one prisoner who has been trying to read and write already that is really wanting him to, because we got the other prisoners that, I don't really care, but they'll do it.
Sam Rockwell.
That's a good,
Yeah. You know.
Okay, yeah, Sam
Yeah,
Rockwell would be good.
Because he can be kind of younger and need help, and obviously he gets killed at some point.
I was just about to,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just about to
And then-
say,
and
this is
then
a
he
prison movie.
finds-
There has to be a sad scene
Yeah.
where he's like,
And Sam
Rockwell
Rockwell
gets killed,
totally
and he's
pull that out.
holding
Yeah.
Graham.
Yeah, and then
Sam.
he gives him
Sam
his
Rockwell.
book that he's been writing
Yeah.
while taking the class, and then while David Duchovny reads it, he discovers that the book was actually a law book, and it shows the loophole to get David Duchovny out of prison.
Highlighted in blood.
He knew it the whole time, but he wanted to write it and show
Yes.
David Duchovny. So
Yes.
David Duchovny's pissed off now. It's like, you could have told me this years
So
ago.
he's holding Sam Rockwell's body. He opens up the book and he's like, what? He's like, ugh, and he just like throws him, and he falls into like a boiler. And his body just disintegrates.
An open boiler.
It's a Mexican prison.
Yeah.
In the
Oh,
library it's the library
Yeah.
/ boiler room.
It's like, I assume it's on like a cage above the boiler room, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just loud all the time.
There's,
I
like,
also
chickens
think
running around.
Okay.
Get your drink with them.
But then he accidentally drops the law book in the boiler as well. And he forgets what the loophole was.
so he has to figure it out from Spanish.
So he has
the
to-
Spanish law book.
Yeah, so he has to rewrite it
There we
in
go.
English just to figure it
Yeah.
out.
Okay, so would the end of Act 2 be with the discovery of this rule?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
now he's
yeah.
got to get out of prison.
But I also think in Act 2, Laura Dern's character, she should write her first sentence, and that sentence should be, I want
love-
to believe.
Oh, I was waiting for the subplot with the romance between David Duchovny
Oh, yeah,
and Laura
that's-
Dern. And,
No, that's not happening.
and her first words would be, "Do you like me? Yes, no." And she passes him no. And he's like, "No."
But he's been in prison for what, 15 years at this point?
Oh,
so he
at
would.
least.
He's got Sam Rockwell in there.
Yeah, I
he's
thought
he
that-
might be gone now, right? You've
Oh.
gotta.
But see,
He's got his
now,
ashes.
now that he's trying to get out of prison... now that he's trying to get out of prison...
Okay.
Has this turned into an escape movie now?
No, he's just trying to get out of prison
Via legal
ways,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But he would be leaving behind his class that is now inspired,
Mm.
and that they're like, "Oh, why are you going to leave us?"
That's why this should be a prison break, and he breaks them all out of prison with him.
They use the things that they had hidden in their books, and they all escape.
Yes.
Oh my god.
All right, but he
So-
can't do it himself necessarily.
No, okay.
So he goes to this. You haven't seen these prisoners the whole time.
Mhm.
He's like, all right, I'm going to need help breaking all these people out. There's like one cell in the very far back that's like, you always see like black, like it's always like completely dark in there. And he's like, all right, I've heard about this place. And he goes up. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone are sitting in there right there.
Smoking cigars.
Yeah, they're the ones who orchestrate the prison
Yeah.
break with them.
And then
Okay.
I think the end of it should be Warden Peace runs in, all the prisoners are gone, except for David Duchovny, who walks out, throws the book down, and then leaves the prison legally.
Oh, so then they're all on the run now.
So the
Which
whole
leaves room
prison
for a
is empty.
sequel. Yes.
Pros and cons 2, prisoners on the run.
On the run again.
Cool running. I don't
Oh.
know.
No. Pros and cons 2. A run-on sentence.
Oh my god.
Whereas
All right.
it's the exact same as the first movie,
Okay.
except Warden and Peace is in there because he screwed up so badly. But it's just the exact same movie.
So what happens is they all get caught at the end of the sequel. And the judge is like, I don't want to send you guys back to prison, so you guys got a choice. All right. You can either go back to prison, or you can join the army.
Expendable
And they all get
4.
sent overseas and fight in the war. It's called Pros and Cons 3 Sentence Fragment.
Oh, God. Oh.
You don't know what you started, Steven.
Okay, so that's how it ends, and those are the sequels.
Yeah.
How do they break out? That's what we need to know.
Laura Dern helps him because she's a guard.
Oh.
She's in love.
There we go.
She's like, I did this for dinosaurs. I can easily do it for prisoners.
All right, so they're in there for life, so they have a lot of time. So she takes her archaeology brush and she just sweeps at the floor, slowly wearing it away until a full tunnel is created.
I thought she would call some pterodactyls, and they just get picked up out of
Did
there.
you see Jurassic Park 3? They're not very cooperative.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't really listen.
So she's getting. Are we getting out with the archaeology brush thing?
So she gets back into archaeology. You've shown me the way, so I'll show you the way. And there's like one door that they have to get through.
So she's literally showing him the way out of the prison.
And it's like kept closed with a bungee cord.
So what happened was,
Just nobody ever thought to check that
Yeah.
door.
when they were filming this movie, they were like, shit, we've already used 99% of our budget, but we still have to film the ending, but we have no money.
The huge escape scene.
That we were already paying for Sylvester Stallone. And I was one thing, it's like, all right, you guys are fired. You guys are just going to walk out the door. We don't have any more money.
Yeah.
So,
And we film Arnold and Sly Stallone walking away from set because they just got fired. But we're trying to get as much footage with them
Yes.
as possible.
Perfect.
oh wow, they're escaping first. Just have David Duchovny doing a voiceover at that point, right? Like, just dubbing it in.
Oh, they brought an Escalade?
So really, the learning to read had no point. He was just trying to escape from jail this whole time.
Oh, but what if there's 2 doors and one is exit?
Even the guard didn't know.
David Duchovny.
She was the one that found it. Like, it's in a back hallway, maybe? And this was like,
What are these strange symbols
They've been here for so long.
from yestertime?
oh, God.
And, of course, the exit is a tunnel out to America, because it's right on the border of Mexico.
Yeah, it's
So
not
they're-
very far.
yeah,
in
so they're
Mexico.
Not in Mexico. They're
If
free
they walk out the
America.
door into San Diego.
Yeah.
So then David Duchovny gets there, but then he's still illegally in America, so then he gets sent right back to prison.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And the movie repeats. And you have to watch it again with new characters, but David Duchovny.
Whoever they can hire.
Yeah.
So it might...
Well, they were at 99% of their budget already, so... I don't know.
the Mexican laborers that they used as the film crew.
Bowfinger style.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm
Beautiful.
surprised they're filming on location.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
So that's the movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's 3 startings and 2 full movies. Looped.
So there's 6 startings.
Yes.
Just with added... Yeah, okay. I like it.
Okay.
That sounds pretty good.
So
I
we
watched
need...
it.
We need
Who wants to do the recap here?
Okay. Why don't we all do an act? I don't even know if I remember Act 1.
Okay, Act 1.
Okay.
David Duchovny is a professor who we didn't actually figure out what he does wrong.
No. Who cares?
Yeah.
He's probably a jerk or something.
Sentenced to 21 to life for being a jerk.
Illegal!
Sent to jail, where Warden Peace is there, and Ice.
Barely. He goes on vacation.
Ice-T never really played much of a part in the end.
Nobody did. It was all about...
So, he's there for 2 years, and then he decides to kill himself. He tries, and then he falls on a book that says how to
teach prisoners.
prisoners English. Prisoners and guards.
How to teach English to prisoners or
Yeah.
whatever.
Or no, how to teach them to read. I don't know.
How to teach an English class in prison to prisoners and guards.
Yes.
But the book is written in Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which he knows a little bit of, so
Yeah.
he rewrites it.
All right. So
Okay,
Act 2. he is now he goes to the warden, who's been on vacation for 2 years. So he's super relaxed. Massages every day.
Tans.
Agrees to let him have this class.
Yes, he's doing in the library / boiler room.
Yeah.
Which is in a cage.
Yeah.
Boiling oil.
Yeah. And he starts, anytime someone does something wrong, they get sentenced to be in this class.
Yes.
As well as him recruiting people.
Yeah.
And he gets through to them by teaching them how to hide things in books. But one by one, they start reading the books rather than carving holes into it to put drugs and everything.
They read the page and then carve out the page and move on.
They just carve it out, but then keep the pages next to it, so they just make the book next to it.
Yes.
And as they're going through, I forgot all of it. Sam Rockwell.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Sam
yeah.
Rockwell has been trying to write this book the whole time.
On his own before.
Yeah.
Dave
Yeah,
become
and
the
then
stars.
He gets shanked.
By
And,
Tom Hanks, Nazi
Yeah.
king in prison.
and then he catches Sam Rockwell. David Duchovny catches Sam Rockwell, and he gives him the book that shows it. And
Yeah.
he's so angry, he pushes him into the boiler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the book.
End of Act
With the
2.
book.
Yeah,
with
tells
the
him how
book.
to get out of prison.
So he no longer knows how again, and he has to do it all over again. So
Right.
that's end Act 2.
And he, at this point, has taught Laura Dern how to read, and she's extremely attracted to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she's
David
she's
Duchovny.
pretty excited. So yeah, then he rewrites the book from memory, what he skimmed through, and
The whole book, not just
yeah,
the one part.
the help.
So we're in
Context.
year 24 of his sentence.
Yeah, now
He
he's
outdid Andy Dufresne in length here.
yeah. So he figures it out on his own, and he's able to put in all the paperwork behind the backs of all these other prisoners.
Yeah.
So they don't know he's gonna get out. They're stuck there, and so but they've stopped shanking him at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the paperwork's finally coming in, and he doesn't want to leave these guys behind, so he figures he wants to break them out. So he talks to Laura Dern, who's like,
Knew the secret exit.
Yeah.
but the reveal will be they don't know. She's like, just meet me at this spot at this time.
Are Arnold and Sylvester still in the picture?
They've
or
walked
no?
off set.
Okay.
That's what's happened already.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They don't really.
Yeah,
matter
okay,
at this
okay.
point.
Like, there's a scene where the camera just follows them
Yeah.
to, like a
They're
Jamba
escorted.
Juice.
Yeah.
And they're just drinking
They were
Jamba Juice.
never in the movie.
And there's just, like, again, there's just a double. We're like, man, I wish I had gone to our prison Jamba Juice. Maximizing screen
Yeah.
time.
So then they set a time, and all the prisoners are gonna escape, and they meet up with the guard, Laura Dern, and she's like, says her line, "You showed me the way, so I'll show you the way," and opens the door that has the bungee cord handle.
Yeah. With
And-
exit clearly
Yeah.
written.
And right out that door is San Diego.
Yeah. And he just walks out. And then the tagline comes up. Pros and cons. This sentence is justified.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's it. This is justified. With the gavel doing the thing. Bars.
Yeah.
Up.
Legal! 3 startings, 3 endings.
Wouldn't be right any other way.
Yeah. Alright, I think that's pretty good
Oh,
for
we
this
got
one.
we got a movie, we got a tagline, we got actors, we got director,
Yeah.
That's perfect. Robert Zemeckis' best work.
Yeah.
pros and cons.
Okay, and I guess that'll take us to our newest section that we're adding to.
We kind of had an idea today for our pitches. We were just kind of going at random right now, so we want to focus it a bit. We're going to pull a genre out of a box, and whatever genre that is, we have to then write our pitches around it. So next week everyone may have a horror, like it'll be a horror show or a sci-fi show.
Well, since mine got picked today, can I do the honors of
Yeah,
picking
Yeah,
this
I will
genre?
shake the box for you, Steven, and you will pick the genre.
And we will have to... Oh, a Western.
Oh!
Next one's going to be a Western, so start coming up with some ideas for the pitch next time. All right.
Do you guys remember the show Empty Nest?
Empty Nest.
No.
Well, then this is pointless. I mean, Once Upon a Time in the Nest, but it was this cast from Empty Nest.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I'll look it
I'm
up.
done already. That counts.
All right, I'll look that up during
All right,
the time.
until the next one.
There we go.